I'm going to start with you, Ulrik. What is Encord? Tell us about the company.
Well, Encord is building AI native data infrastructure. So we work with more than 300 of the world's top AI teams that are building different types of AI applications, everything from autonomous cars to delivery drones to surveillance cameras and everything else in between. We generally work with companies that are building, again, AI systems for the physical world. And of course, a lot of the robotics companies that are now coming out in the Valley, which I think is a super exciting place to be.
And Eric, you raised $60 million. What's the valuation of the company now?
We are over half a unicorn. I think we can say that. So
Over
maybe
half
the
a unicorn.
first half of the unicorn. Yes,
Okay.
It's missing a tail.
it's missing the tail. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you find it. That's all I have to say.
Next round, we'll put the tail on the unicorn. So no worries there.
Okay. So, Eric, what I'm sort of hoping to get your clarity on here is what is good data and what is bad data in robotics? Because I think when we've been on the show, we've talked about teleoperators, I think they call them, right? We've talked about people going out with cameras themselves and, kind of like Google Maps, collecting as much data as they can. What distinguishes what good and bad is in this arena?
It's a good question, and it's actually very use case and context dependent, and it's something where we're actually discovering what the frontiers of quality data is, and a lot of the labs are trying to do this research to understand what makes their data actually important for their models. I think there are a few principles that you can follow. One is that you need diversity of data, and one of the issues that people have with some of the data collection that they're doing is that they're getting a lot of redundant, repetitive data. So it's not mining the different failure modes and edge cases that these models can see, and that is like one of the big bottlenecks that a lot of the labs have at the moment.
And when you say incomplete data, what do you mean by that?
So you might have a lot of data of you in good lighting in your room with a robot making your bed. But let's say that it's stormy outside, or you move your bed position. Then the robot has never seen that particular context of data. So while a human can generalize, and we know how to kind of operate under multiple conditions, these AI systems, they don't have the intuition. And so when you don't have the right data conditions in the training environment, then the robots will fail in areas that are relatively trivial from a human perspective.
But basically, what I hear you saying is, if this is a matter of someone taking a video as training data of a certain environment, I mean, you have to get every angle, every
Yeah,
corner. It can't just be the 2 or 3 shots, and hope
that's right.
that they get an idea.
You need full coverage.
Ulrik, what sorts of robots are we talking? Who are the customers that you're selling to?
We've seen a huge proliferation in different types of robotics applications over the past couple of years. I think the one that stands out the most has been the humanoid form factor. So there's been a huge number of companies that have started in the last couple of years with building robots that will go into your house, they will go into the warehouse, they will go, farming the fields. And they're building these humanoid form factors because they kind of fit the existing human workflows. So they kind of slot well into the current set of roles and jobs that we're doing as humans. So that is most of where we're seeing the growth today. We also do work with companies that are building different types of warehouse robots that are doing things like stacking packages in warehouses or delivery trucks. It's really any robotic application that we see a human or previous an industrial robot taking on.
And so when you sell your offering to one of these companies, whether it's in an industrial setting or a humanoid setting, what exactly is the service there entailing on your end? Are you going out and hiring a group of people to collect this data? Are you simulating it? How are you doing it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think it's good to ground ourselves in where robotics is today. So with robotics, we don't have the luxury of having an internet that we can do pre-training on, like we saw for the language model a couple of years ago. So a huge part of what our customers are doing, and also what we are helping our customers do, is collect the right data for the model. So that goes into the pre-training step. And of course, like the models are trained and they start to like learn how the world actually works and build a representation of what that looks like. Then once the data is collected and the model's been pre-trained, then you go into the post-training step. So for the post-training step, that's what you generally like look at things like annotation and alignment. You kind of look at the model's output and start to grade it. Our software helps our customers with building that complete flywheel basically from day one. So they go and they get all the software and all the services and everything else that they need to build out their robotics foundation model, their robotics, humanoid, or whatever else it might be. We are also starting to see our customers shift into actual deployments, which is very exciting. I think these things are rapidly advancing and coming to market. And we, of course, also are helping our customers complete the flywheel by supporting them with the post-deployment steps. So once the robot is like going in, and it might be like emptying your dishwasher, whatnot, we have a team that helps with the teleoperation of the robot. So effectively like steering the robot as it gets things wrong. We kind of call that exception handling. It's also a big part of the software that we offer, and that completes the whole pre-training to post-training to deployment flywheel. And we again help our customers at every step of that journey.
Right, but Eric, I mean, help me understand here. So you have the software, but do you not have a team of humans that you've contracted to physically collect that data for the customers too?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. And actually, to get the right answer for this, you need to both have the operations and the software platform. Because what we discovered is that just having one is not really sufficient to cover the full data stack for physical AI.
Got it. Um, Tell me, I'm curious about how you seek to differentiate yourself. I Rocket Drew, the reporter who wrote the exclusive story about you guys today, he mentioned in the newsletter you're building a giant warehouse with the money where you're going to collect all this data. I imagine other companies are doing the same thing. What's different about you?
Well, I can comment a bit. One is that we spent the last several years first building the software platform. So to do that, you have to build scalable infrastructure to handle petabytes of data. And that's what we spent the last 5 years doing. So we spent a lot of time doing our own architecture, working with multimodal data. And now we have a bunch of customers that use our system at scale, which will be a huge advantage once we get the warehouse completely fully up and ramped.
Great. Ulrik and Eric, I want to thank you both for coming on, and I look forward to tuning into whenever this TV show of yours debuts. I'll be your first viewer, that's for sure.
Next time we'll send our robot avatars. So
There you go. You have to come up with a name for the robot as well. All right. Well, thank you to you both. That is Ulrik and
Thanks for having
Eric,
us.
the co-founders and co-CEOs of Encord here on TI TV.